guys, this is Very here, and this time I'm going to be watching a game between Nalra and Goodfriend on Parallel Lines 3. Nalra is definitely one of my old school favorite Protoss players, and it's always fun to watch him. He always comes up with funny stuff to do, and like I said, this is going to be on Parallel Lines 3, which looks to be an island map. So this is an older game, 2004 or something like that. So usually you don't see island maps anymore, which is actually kind of sad because one of my favorite maps is Polaris Prime. I don't know why, but I kind of like it. Island maps usually force people to do stuff they're not really comfortable with. Um, so yeah, Nara's record versus turn is not overly impressive. It's 58%, so it's decent. Goodfriend's record versus toss is 53%, so they're both pretty close in terms of their percentages versus each other's race. But let's see what type of strategy they're going to go for here. Obviously, they're going to be going for air strats like drops and whatnot, but I would expect Donald to come up with something clever. You can see he's making a pylon right now. He's just getting his macro up. And we're in his first-person view right now. You can see, even though this is 2004, his APM is still very, very high. One of my favorite matches ever was between Smuffed and Entity, or Hasujan, a very long time ago, and it was on the map New No Way Out, if you remember that. And like I said, one of my favorite replays of all time, and I just, in the last few months got Brood War chart, believe it or not. And I was looking at their APMs. Their PM is just as low as mine is. It's, in like the mid 100s. So that was really surprising because they were all over the place doing drops and tons of stuff constantly. So just to see that APM back then was as low as mine is now, that's kind of funny. It means I'm not that good, but anyway, I digress. So if they'd move the camera down, I could see what Nara's building right now. Oh, he's not building. He's going out for the expansion. So quick expand. That looks to be a 12 nexus or 14 nexus. It's kind of hard for me to see what the size is, but it looks like it's 12. Video quality is not exactly that great, but whatever. But it's just kind of interesting. If you watched a video a while back I did between Goodfriend and Boxer, I was commenting on the fact that they tend to actually center the camera on Boxer a lot as opposed to his opponent, because everyone likes Boxer so much that people are more interested to see what he's coming up with, because they don't want to miss anything. He could be coming up with some crazy strategy, and they don't want to miss it. And Nara's kind of like that too. I mean, back in this day, Nara was a huge name, and they want to see what he's doing. I mean, they've been centering on him for like the last 2 minutes now. They haven't even shown at all what Goodfriend's going to be up to. So that's just kind of interesting. I didn't know this was going to turn out to be basically an FP VOD, but whatever, that's nice. So we're about 3.5 minutes into the game here. Nara's still working on getting up his expansion. He's got a gateway going, and he's getting his gas up and running here. So I'm just kind of interested to see what he's going to be getting. He's doing the old-fashioned Maynard, if any of you remember what that means. There's a player named Maynard back in the day, maybe a couple years before this, that actually revolutionized the idea of building too many probes and then transferring them. He was the first person to do that, and his name was Maynard. I actually played a few games with him back in the day, but he was pretty good. He played games with Smuffed and those players back then. Anyway, I'm just really interested to know why they're only showing Nara here. Maybe it has something to do with, I mean, because this is the MSL, I believe, so I don't know why they're doing this, but maybe someone can let me know in the comments why they're keeping the view on Nara, because this is pretty interesting. Looks like he's actually, he's going for a Stargate. That's interesting. I was going to expect to see a robotics facility. So he's obviously not going for drops. I'm going to have to assume that he's going to be going for either a 2-base carrier, which would be kind of weird, or maybe some arbiters. I don't know. We'll find out. If he was going to be going for arbiters, I would think he'd be maybe making more gateways. And he's making another gateway, so I think he's probably going to be going arbiters. He's making some dragoons right now. I can't see if he's going to be upgrade his range yet. He keeps clicking his cybernetics core. I'm not sure if he's upgraded the range or not yet, or has started working on it. So we'll find out. So this is very interesting. He's going really quick arbiters. I'm assuming he's posturing that goon out there to hopefully catch any drops that might come from Goodfriend. We'll see. He's making a pylon out there too. I would assume that he's making a Corsair, so he's obviously doing that just to get a scout off. He wants to see what his opponent's doing. He keeps building pylons all over the place, which is kind of weird. Maybe he just wants them for scouting purposes. And there's his citadel. So he's finally getting up the tech tree now. It's only been almost 6 minutes in here, so he's taking up very quickly. So his Corsair's got at the top position, and it's going down towards the bottom positions now. I wish I had a replay of this just so I could tell you what their APMs were in this game. I like to know what the players are doing in terms of their actions per minute. But and he's found Terra now. They didn't really show the screen very long to see what he has, but well, all I could catch so far is that he has a scanner and 2 factories. Looks like he might be building a starport to the right. He hasn't clicked on it yet though, so I'm not sure. Yeah, not too much going on here yet. Just some scouting and some macroing from Nalra. And there goes the Templar Archives. So I'm assuming he's just getting ready for this eventual Arbiter that's coming out here. I'm surprised he hasn't built more troops yet to prepare for it, but I'm kind of wondering why he did that. That's interesting. He lifted off his starport. Goodfriend did. Weird. So this is definitely a lot different than you would see players play this these days. You would definitely have seen a drop by Terran by now, I would assume. Seems like Goodfriend is actually a little slow on getting his tech up, which is kind of surprising, considering he's facing Nara. So Nara's got even more goons out right now. I haven't got a count off on them, but I'd assume maybe 6 to 8 of them so far. Something like that. And he's getting his Arbiter Tribunal up now. So Arbiter will be coming out in the next 2 or 3 minutes. So we'll see. They still haven't. Well, Nalra, since he's in the control of the view here, hasn't really shown too much of what Goodfriend's doing, which is why I kind of don't like the FP VODs as well. They're kind of jumpy. I mean, their player's APM is so high that it just makes it kind of difficult to see what the other person is doing.